Happy Carnival, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Parade Route. Tonight we are rocking out with the Jailhouse Rockers.
Woo!
Thank you very much for coming. So tell us a little bit about the origins of the Jailhouse Rockers. I mean, I know that y'all kind of came a little bit after the Elvi.
Right. Well, the Elvi was established around 2004, before Katrina.
Right.
And then the Jailhouse Rockers, I guess there's a group of members. You know, obviously 6 Cent Stompers, they had their thing going on. So all male dance group, you know, at the time was important, and some of the members wanted to dance. So around 2011, Cleopatra, the parade, was one of the ones that accepted us.
Yeah.
You know, for first, and it was a nasty year. It was raining, of course. You know, Mardi Gras rain. Imagine that. And they said that whoever finished the parade has a lifetime, spot in the parade. So that's kind of where we are with it, Cleopatra. But obviously we do a good job in Cleopatra. I mean, the crowd seems to love us. I mean, we do pretty good. We do pretty good with all that kind of stuff. So
when y'all go separately from Elvi typically, right?
Well, no, actually it's still combined. I mean, because even we're in Cleopatra, it's a rocker parade. But we still have certain rollers that get privileged to ride in it. We don't have a lot of rollers, but they do give privilege to people, especially the ones that will be in all 3 parades. They give first priority to being in part of Cleopatra as well. So technically we have 4 parades as the Elvi, but the Rockers, the only parade that we do for Mardi Gras would be Cleopatra. So.
But I know that y'all do a lot of functions on your own as well.
Oh, absolutely,
I mean,
a lot of times that the rollers can't be involved. The Rockers, do fundraisers. We do a lot of fundraisers and a lot of group efforts.
The blood drive.
We had the blood drive that we just had.
Yeah, I would say y'all were the highlight of the day.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
But y'all seem to be at most charity events that we go to, though. I mean, we saw y'all last year at Old Jimmy's. Whose was that?
Oh, the
Willow. Is that the Willow? No.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all were there.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is we can't bring scooters into every venue. The good thing is the Rockers, we have the dance, we have the show, and we can show up as sort of an Elvi light version in a sense. Get in there, knock it out, but all of us are much so, very much so supportive of all of the charitable events, anything that's good for the community, anything that's good for any particular group or patients or whatever it is. They have that good, wonderful giving spirit. We want to show up, make it a party, make it positive, raise whatever money that we can raise to help any cause. And that's the overall feeling amongst the entire group. And I think most Mardi Gras groups these days have that ability. They want to give back to the community. We want to make NOLA, just an incredible place, and that's what really puts us on the map. Let's face it, New Orleans would not really be on the map if it's not for the people. The people in New Orleans is what makes everything fantastic. It what keeps so many of us living here, even though we have so many other obstacles to sometimes have to, work around. But having that community spirit, everyone knowing one another, we're out there supporting everything that we can support that's positive. That's that general mentality that all of us have.
Yeah. I love how all the groups get together. I mean, I say it all the time, but, there's no real competition. It's all like, hey, you guys do this, you guys do this, and we all get together and help out, And that's I think
those are the events
most
I like,
people don't realize that happens,
Yeah, I love going to those where there's other groups. You get to see what they're doing.
Yeah. But no, I think
I
everybody,
really enjoy that.
Like when the Amigos last year lost their equipment, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon to give them some equipment. It's not a competition like, hey, we're the best. It's this is what we do. Well, how can we help you guys? And I always thought that was just a great thing that the groups all do together, you know, because like you say, it raises great money. It creates its little microcosm community. I mean, you guys have to know half of Mardi Gras, really, huh? It's just how it is.
There's always new groups coming too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. You know, there's so much eclectic sort of personalities in New Orleans. But eventually, you find that all of the people who want to have a great time, want to be supportive, want to get out there, make a difference, they all sort of find their way into all of these different Mardi Gras groups, whatever one it might be. And you know, they find something that there's a passion, a theme, and I get involved. And once they're involved, it's like, you know, you're hooked. You know, it's really, it's such a positive, it's a drug, you know. It's almost like something that I need more of that. And a lot of people, you know, once they do it, they're in, they're hooked.
Yeah, there's a few groups I've always said, like, you know, if we didn't basically go to everything, that I would want to be in. But, you know, this is my spot. I like going to stuff. You know, I like to participate. I'm more of a spectator, you know. But it's fun getting to know everybody.
Right, absolutely, yes.
Because, honestly, every time we go to a parade now, I have 20, 30 friends in the parade, you know. It's just fun that way. It's, you know, adds to the experience.
And whether, you know, someone's a Mufaletta or, you know, a Pussyfooter or an Elvi or a Dolly, you know, I mean, Amelia Earhart's, we have so many unique groups now, and people can find their place in somewhere. You know, there's always something that's going to speak to you personally. You know, for me, I kind of waited a while. I had a lot of friends who were in Elvi early on, and I kind of waited because I was busy. You know, career and life gets in the way once in a while, but eventually when I got out of that, I realized, it's time for me to get involved. I want to be part of this. I need that experience in my life. I would feel robbed on my deathbed if I thought, I didn't do that. Why didn't I do that? You know, it's like, I didn't travel here or do something I really wanted to do in life that was meaningful and defined part of what I am and what I'm about. And all these groups, you know, and Elvi included, you know, that's us. You know, I mean, the Elvi are kind of cool because we tinker with the scooters. We get to listen to all this cool Elvis music, which is really neat, and to bring, you know, all of his greatness out in what we do and have fun with it. And people love that. You know, it's wonderful that this group exists, as with all of them. You know, they're all finding their place and their harmony within the Mardi Gras spirit, you know, which is wonderful.
Was being an Elvis fan what drove each of you to become rockers?
Well, I guess with my personal experience, I would have to say my mom was a huge Elvis fan. And I actually have seen Elvis perform twice. For somebody my age, that's rare because I'm 57. So, and so at a young age, I saw him twice. And in fact, I think I saw him the last year that, you know, in 77.
Yeah.
Last year he performed. So, I mean, to me, yeah, I mean, I never really thought about it before, but kind of out of the blue, a friend of mine invited me to join the Elvi. And then once I became, it's like, oh my God, yeah, I mean, all my Elvis roots just kind of like came to fruition. It was like, oh, here we go, you know. So and then I became a big Elvis collector, and I don't know how many jumpsuits I have. I actually have a whole room in my house that's a costume closet.
He does.
Wow.
I've seen it. It's huge. It looks like Hollywood. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
And on another note, my fiance, she's a pussyfooter, so over half that costume closet is hers. Probably about 2/3. At least 2/3. I just got like a small part. So,
Did Elvis bring you into the group?
Well, I actually got into the dancing in the street when I was in Disco Amigos. I was a charter member there, and had a great time with that for 9 years. It might have been 10 years, whatever it was. But I was looking for something else, and this group was one of the first groups I remember seeing, other than 610, like you mentioned. You know, it was. I remember I saw you guys dancing in the Willow, or whatever it is, across from a bus barn up in there, you know, whatever that place is. And I said, these guys are doing it, you know. I mean, I was just looking for something else, really, you know. And I've been loving it. You know, started the year of COVID, which was so my Mafia year was actually like 2 years, but which is part of how you enter into the group process. And but no, it's just been great. Got a scooter now. Got the whole regular gear. The cape and everything. So I'm having a ball with it. Yeah.
And for me, it was completely opposite, too. I really didn't know much about Elvis. I knew who he was, knew some of his songs and basic stuff, but didn't really have much of an appreciation through my entire childhood, teenage, young adult, And it wasn't until later in life I was like, oh, he's a great entertainer. But I still didn't know much about him. It's just my family didn't listen to a lot of the music or whatever. I don't know what, but I just kind of missed the train on that. And then I thought, man, I want to get in that group because they got some cool scooters. And I used to race motorbikes. I was like, that's for me. I want to get on those scooters and have some fun, And then when I got in, and I was listening to the music and then seeing the dress and learn more. I visited Graceland now twice, and it's like, wow, this guy, he really was the king. This was like a whole different era. And so now my appreciation has gone from 0 to 60. It's just like, wow, I wish I would have known more. He passed away when I was very young, obviously, 1976, I think. So, I think I was 11 years old or something like that. So it's a really, young age to not have known anything about him, and then he was gone, and that was that. But, you develop an appreciation for things later on in life as well. And so even though I didn't grow up with Elvis, midlife, I was like, wow, this guy was really, he was a thing, right? And to see how people, the emotions Elvis brings out of people, his music, his style, what he did, and the goodness that he was, really has a very big effect. And it's beautiful to see that in people's faces when they just light up. And, it's the same thing. Beatles, Dolly Parton, the Dollies do that now. These are, really great role models of what we all strive to be in life. And you did something in life that contributed greatly to our culture, to a positive nature of our existence as humans. It's like that should be celebrated, right? And we get to celebrate, one of the cooler ones, Elvis, the king. How great is that?
Well, it's proof just by, the fact that, basically 45 years later, past his death, little kids still know who Elvis is.
And they sing his music.
Yeah.
I see them singing and knowing every word of his music. Mm-hmm. And that is really an amazing thing.
I really liked how he made Forrest Gump's dance famous.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Absolutely,
that was phenomenal.
Great way they wrote him into that story. That was a beautiful, creative way of bringing him to life. Great line in the movie. I love that one.
Yeah, but I see y'all carrying it on. Propping up old Forrest on the road, on the streets all the time, making his moves. Mm-hmm. But let me start up. Well, you mentioned briefly, the process of getting nominated, or how do
first you're nominated, to get into the group. I was nominated by a member, and then you got to do a year in what we call the Mafia, and basically a support role for the entire group. For that, I'm
going to back up just a little bit. Usually good to buy a member a beer to get nominated. Just FYI, for anyone who wants to know.
That would cement the nomination process.
That helps. It's just a little, coaching is what we call that.
Yes.
Then,
absolutely.
When you join, you get a wig, you get glasses, and you're in the Mafia. You shirts and stuff like that to show that you're in the Mafia. Kind of so that you're part of the group. And we're going down the street. And those are the guys holding the little wands, knock them back and all that. Those guys, that's Mafia. And then once you've done that, and I think you have to get 2 votes to get rolled up, we call it. Where you roll up, now you're a roller in the group, and now then you start ordering your gear and your scooter.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, that's where I'm at right now. Like I said, I started during COVID, and so that was kind of a little, messed up, but there was it's been a great time as far as I went straight into the Rockers. Like I said, I came from a dancing group, and I wanted to do more dancing. Yeah. And I knew these guys were, had been doing it, probably were going to continue to do it. So I said, I'm going to, this be a good group for me, I think. And I've been loving it. Great. Yeah. We have women rollers, rockers and stuff. It's not just guys anymore either. That changed the year I started. We had my class had some women in it, and they're still dancing with us. So
yeah,
it's great.
How many rockers do y'all have?
Well, we have probably
Ever
about,
total?
Yeah,
No, I mean, like that's current.
we're probably about around 30 right now.
Okay, that's far more.
So
than I
which,
thought.
which is a pretty good number because not everybody could do everything.
Yeah.
You know, so like we got an event. I mean, if I get 8 to 10 people for an event, I'm pretty happy.
That's what I typically see.
Yeah.
I don't know, roughly a dozen.
Right.
The events. So yeah, it's surprising.
Cleopatra though, that's our big thing, and usually it brings out a lot more people. So we will have 20 to 30 people for Cleopatra.
For the parade
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. So that's the big thing because I mean you got a lot of old school people. They're rollers, but they're rockers. Maybe that one time a year they might go, hey, I'm gonna do the Cleopatra parade, and so they're gonna be a rocker for that day, which is fine because the dances that we have are pretty simple. You know, they're not complex. In fact, a lot of times when we're on the route, the crowd picks up on them pretty quick. And if we're like in a stall, we usually have a dance off with the crowd. So I mean,
Make it fun. Always making it fun.
so yeah. I mean, so we're kind of whimsical. We don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing.
Yeah,
I mean, y'all are all amazing dancers.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Probably.
Well, you know, Beyonce tried to get us to be some backup dancers for her, and then Taylor Swift wanted us, but we're like, no, we're doing what we're doing, you know, and that's that, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting, though, because we have lots of events all throughout the year.
Yeah.
You know, life and your schedule, your work schedule, everything, you know, gets in the way. You know, let's face it, none of us are retired, and we're just, you know, full-time Elvi. You know, very few people have the convenience of that, but you know, whatever you can make something, you make it. You know, the nice thing, as Bruce was mentioning, was you know, when you are a Memphis Mafia, you're basically a pledge to the group, right? You're sort of doing all of the support stuff around the parades and the events and showing up and just helping out. You're really having a great time. I mean, you're dressed in costume, you got the wig, you got the glasses, you got a shirt on that, you know, shows that you're part of this group, and you're having a great time at the crowd. You're partying as much as anybody is.
Yeah, well, you're literally darn near in the crowd.
You are,
but
you are.
still a member of the group.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
You're
So,
the first interaction that the crowd is getting
yeah.
with the group.
Yeah, and our process is,
But
you know,
everything's safe too. You know,
to get nominated, become a Mafia, but not to just be, you know, a deadhead, right? We want someone who wants to be part of the group. You know, we need people who want to, hey, I'm going to show up, I'm going to do the parades, I'm going to show up to some of the events, be here for this, be there for that, and really pull your weight. You know, that's what we want to see is participation. And when we see that, you know, you get to meet everybody, you get to know everybody, you know the events, and that's what really promotes you to become a roller. You know, you will easily get votes to become a roller because, yeah, you're here. You know, you're not just you know, like some distant person that we don't even know.
Yeah, you're not just a member on paper.
Yeah, you're not a bump on a wall somewhere, right? So the nice thing too is being a Memphis Mafia, you're waiting to become a roller, but you can become a Jailhouse Rocker right then and there. You know, you don't have to be a roller to then become a Jailhouse Rocker. So you become a Memphis Mafia, you have more time, you want to, you know, invest in yourself, invest in the group, and become part of our dance troupe here, our group. They can do that, you know, so that you're not limited on having to wait until you're voted in as a roller, you know. And it's really, really hard because you, A, have to buy these clothes and make them, right?
These are
And
all
B,
handmade, by the way.
you have to drive or get to a practice somehow to meet people and learn a dance or two. And I think, yeah, that's about it,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah. That's
a two-step process.
So yeah. We try to keep it really simple, right? I mean, point and click. You know, just do those two things and you're there. You know, so it makes it really fun. You can become part of all this, you know, very quickly.
I assume y'all do some kind of preparation practices leading up to Cleo.
Oh yeah, I mean we have practice every Wednesday. We do once a week over at Port Orleans Brewery. That's where our home is right now, so to speak. But I do have to mention that when you're a Mafia, you get one of the coolest work shirts ever because every year it's something different.
Yeah.
So I mean, was it a few years ago we had the skull with the
black
on
shirt.
it. Oh, that was the most awesome.
That was better than the year we
awesome.
were Mafia. Remember?
I know we just had
We had a red shirt.
Yeah, we had the Speedway.
Yeah, we call it a work
Yeah.
shirt, but yeah.
You
That
put your
one year
name
was
on it
hard.
so
yeah, we
people
some
know
cool
that,
stuff.
hey, you're in this. You know?
Right.
So, and that's part of your dues. I mean, that's one thing I have to say about too with this group. The dues are very reasonable compared for the fun you have. Because I mean, I'm I don't want to say anything about Endymion. I think Endymion is a great crew. They're awesome. I did Endymion for many years, but I got away from it when I went with the Elvi, and the dues are just like very reasonable comparatively. I mean, you can have a great time and do multiple parades, not just one parade, a lot of parades for a reasonable price.
Now, which is nice because weather in New Orleans. You could have that rain out on the big day that everything was set for that night or something, and it's a wash. And now we might be lucky enough to roll behind another parade and make it real quick and get through a route somewhere just so we can throw the stuff that we bought for our throws this year, right? We have multiple chances to be able to roll, experience, dance, do everything we want to do all throughout.
That I seem to notice with being in one of the dance groups is that it becomes, I ride in a parade, and sure, I go to a lot of the parade events, the meetings and whatnot, but it feels like with the dance groups, you become family, like true family, to where, with a lot of the groups that we've interviewed through the times, it's not just when there's a Rockers event that y'all are getting together. It's on a random Sunday where there's not a Rockers event, there's not an Elvi event. Y'all are just like, hey, I'm throwing some hot dogs on the grill. Y'all come by.
Right.
We have a monthly event for the whole group.
A social that's held. Meet, greet,
to kind of help that,
bring
keep
friends.
That going,
Right.
Yeah, we do that. But then all of the events we do throughout the year too, not only the Rollers do have a handful of events, but the Rockers have probably more events overall during the course of a year.
It's not really like bling parties like the Amigos have, but you had to get together somebody else when they're doing theirs.
They have bling parties. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shoot, I gotta go. I'll see y'all later.
Well, and to add to your point, we do have a lot of, once you meet a lot of people in the Elvi and stuff like that, we obviously develop personal relationships, and we do have a lot of, we have dinners together, personally. It's not an Elvis-related event. We do different things. Probably take trips together sometimes,
Yeah, we have lots of people who make friends. Usually when you're in a class of the Mafia, that class, you're very close to these people. You're seeing them, you're doing all of the specific things with them, and you will make some friends right then and there. And then eventually you become a roller and you meet the larger group and you're hanging out with, a lot more people. And, as with everything with people, you'll click with certain little groups and couples, other couples and friends and everything else. And before you know it, people are, hey, what you doing this weekend? Let's go out. Oh, we're going to go here. You want to go? And, we've had friends now travel overseas. We've gone to Memphis with friends and all sorts of activities. And, whatever you do in your life, your friends from the Elvi become part of that family, and now you get all of this extra fellowship out of that. So it's really great. It really is very rewarding. I can honestly say, getting into the Elvi, I instantly had a dozen more friends.
Yeah.
But they were good friends. It wasn't just like, that outer circle friends. It's not it's not like work friends, from the office or through your employment or something. It's not like just people you knew from years ago that you kind of liked back then, but I don't know if we even click now. These are people who we're all in the same place at the same time, and it really makes this beautiful, magic happen.
Just before the show, y'all were kind of talking about, and during, your explanation just now, you'd mentioned, going on trips. I believe y'all had mentioned something about possibly y'all were invited to be in a parade in Tennessee. Was that what I understood?
Yes, we were invited for the St. Patrick's Day on Beale Street. I mean, it's still in the works. I think it's somewhat official, but it's still got to go through the board, obviously. But yeah, I mean, if we do that, that'd be phenomenal. I mean, I'm definitely in for that one. And I mean, I think just to do that in Memphis, I mean, especially with Graceland being right there, because we're talking about touring Graceland as well while we're there. So I mean, I think all that would be, phenomenal.
And I've got a feeling there could be, I'm not sure, but there might be one, maybe two people who might dress up like Elvis a little bit if we did that.
Maybe.
Possibly. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying it could happen.
So how many tanks of gas would y'all have to strap to the scooter to take it all the way to Memphis?
Oh man, I don't know.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna fly up there.
Yeah, we probably need to rent a gas
We're gonna figure out how many
to
airplanes we need.
fill that.
Yeah, I don't think we have any direct flights to Memphis, unfortunately, these days, other than a handful.
Well, maybe charter.
But
Y'all mentioned throws. Y'all always have a pretty good array of throws for a dance troupe, which is most people do the balloon, or some of them do like a little handmade throw or something like that. But you guys have kind of a variety. Want to let us in on it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we got
Koozies.
our main thing is a poker chip.
Right,
That
the
is the
poker
prize
chip
thing that most people
Scarves.
really like.
the
Followed by the scarves.
women love the scarves, and
I love
then
my scarf. I have.
well,
You gotta have a scarf.
scarves are important, and then the voodoo dolls too. I mean, that's always one thing that we've always had. Oh well, yeah, I'll get you one.
Well, I mean, I have to get.
There's an
on
Elvis
that.
and a Priscilla.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And speaking of which, we would not do justice to the group if we didn't mention our Priscilla group and the Ann Margaret, which are the pledge side of that group. This is a whole other side of the crew of the Rolling Elvi. Very, very special and precious to us. They support all of our functions. They do amazing things throughout the year. I mean, they are our significant others, right? And we really need this group to be part of what we do. They make us very special. Shoot, they make us look good. At the end of the
They
day.
ride too,
And now, they are allowed to become rollers and be able to advance to this group, so they can actually also ride the scooters
Oh, really?
and dress like Elvis. Absolutely.
And they
have
can
a float
be
too, don't they?
rockers too as well. I mean, if a Priscilla or a Margaret wants to be a rocker, they definitely are welcome.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I
and,
realize y'all doing that.
Yeah, well, we do have a good number of female rockers right
Y'all
now.
got yelled at, didn't you?
much yelling over much time.
Yeah, and we do have a float for our Priscilla group. They ride in the Muses Parade, usually,
And King
with
Arthur.
us. And King Arthur, right?
Right.
Yeah, 2 parades. So it's really special to have them with us. So I always like to have that whole side of the group there. It just makes us that more special.
I love it.
Combined with all 3 groups, how big is the Elvis world, shall we call
Nationwide?
Local chapter.
I'd say we got probably at least a couple hundred members. I know before COVID we had a good solid 200.
it? Wow.
Since COVID, it's hard to tell. I mean, but we've gained new members, and we lost some members with COVID. I mean, not because of disease. I mean, maybe hopefully not, but we definitely we're pretty close to that number, around 200 total.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's always a spectacle to see a whole group of scooters coming your way. It's just hilarious to me. They'll never get old.
Yeah.
People do fly in, like there are members that only do that,
For the Muses Parade, yeah, absolutely. Well, I remember that's the first time. That's my first experience with the Elvi. Actually, I went to the Muses Parade, and I wasn't even expecting. I didn't even know. I mean, it's kind of like I went away for a while after Katrina. I was just coming back, and I went to the Muses Parade probably around 2009, 2010, or whatever. And all of a sudden, I see like hundreds of Elvi on scooters. I mean, what is this? This is crazy, man. I love it. It's awesome, man.
Their phone number.
And I never knew at that point I'd be a part of it, but I'm so happy that I am. I mean, it's really changed my life. It's been a life.
Really, I would say, was one of the first to really embrace kind of all the new school groups.
Right, absolutely, yes.
Like everybody else here it's always been kind of school bands and things like that. I always call it kind of the new school thing, but honestly, it's been around for some years now. At this point, that all the different dance troupes have been around. But I mean, I remember when I was a kid, it was you had the little dance schools, and then which were mostly younger girls, and then you had marching bands. And that was kind of it. That was just how it was. When we started seeing all the new groups coming in, I'm like, well, that's something new, And now there's umpteen of them. Who knows how many dance crews there are now? It's probably better than 100, I would imagine.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Quite a few.
Who was it? What was the name? Renee Bory or something like that. That was about the only thing that was different. You see
That
her.
was his neighbor.
She was.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, she was my grandpa's neighbor for
No
years.
kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing her. I want to say I saw her. Did I see her this last year? I don't know. It seems like she might still be doing
She
it.
could outdance
My whole life she's been
20
doing that.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, what she always did was kind of wonderful, bringing all the special needs kids in.
Right. No, that was.
She was a staple. I think I only got to see her once last year. In fact, I was kind of like, I haven't seen Renee this year.
Right.
So she might be winding it down, but I mean, if you've been here your whole life,
Well, she's a staple in it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For sure.
But, so what's on the agenda this year? You said you got Cleo, Muses. You have what other group?
King Arthur.
King Arthur and
and
Iris.
Iris.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's usually our 4 staple parades we have for
Y'all
Mardi
really
Gras.
rotate too
And,
much.
yeah, and in addition, we have Christmas parade. We got Crew Boo that we're always involved in.
And the Easter parade as well. We participate
And the Easter
in.
parade, yes.
Parade, all those parades.
St.
yeah.
Joseph.
Yeah, plus the Rockers are in St. Joseph, but not really the Rollers, but the Rockers are in St. Joseph for sure. And plus many events. I mean, we probably get invited to like 2-3 events a month that we do. Yeah, in fact, we're doing a private party next weekend over at the old One-Eyed Jack's. Now it's I think it's Toulouse Theater now or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Done the old folks' homes. I mean, we'll go.
Yeah.
Call us.
Yeah, I mean, we have, and plus with fundraisers and stuff too. I mean, we definitely do. We've done the Covenant House, help out with there, blood drives. I mean, we really try and help the community in every way.
Yeah, so if ever
Okay.
on board one weekend, just call y'all up and have y'all do a little party in the backyard.
Sure, man. I mean, if you cook us some nice crawfish and have some nice beer, man.
We'll bring the music.
We'll arrange that.
We know what we're going to listen to.
Did I see something to where one of the Elvi got involved in a wrestling match, or one of the Rockers got involved in a wrestling match recently?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, should I tell the story or should you tell the story? Because it's your cousin.
Well, it's my cousin. Why don't you start the story and I'll tell the
All right.
highlight
Well,
of,
you kind of jump in whenever
I'll speak
you want.
to my cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of our rockers is a former wrestler.
Okay.
And we got invited to do this wrestling match in Chalmette. And then I said, well, you know what? Since we're doing a wrestling match, I mean, why not, see if y'all want to do something together, where we could do like something to entertain the crowd a little bit more. And so Tony was down with it. He's the rocker. And the guy that was putting it together, the wrestler, he was definitely down with it. So they worked out amongst themselves. I mean, I had nothing to do with it. I mean, I just introduced him and said, hey, man, if you want to make it happen, I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be fun for the crowd. It'd be fun to, for the wrestling group and everything.
Yeah, shout out to my cousin Anthony Zacconi.
Yes.
He came into the Elvi the same year we did, and he was a Mafia, and then he became a roller. He did not become a Jailhouse Rocker, though. But I think that event is pushing him over the ledge now. Where it's like, oh, these guys have too much fun.
He's in for sure, man.
These guys have too much fun. So when the wrestling event came up, that was pretty much like, oh my God, how could I miss this?
Yeah,
right?
that's his thing.
So I remember calling him that day. Hey, I'm going to show up about this time. Where are you? Oh, I'm already here. I'm like, why are you there so early? And I realized they're doing something.
Yeah.
He was going to get in the ring with these other wrestlers and probably work on his little routine from back in the day and have a little something special. So for the middle of the event, we were the halftime show, basically.
Right.
We climbed into the ring, which is interesting to watch a lot of middle-aged guys climb into a wrestling ring, all in all, by itself. That was a show right there. And the fact that paramedics did not need to be called just for that alone, I was impressed. Oh, well. So we did our dances, our Elvis songs, the crowd's loving it, having a great time. And then at the end, the showcase, my cousin steals the show. The wrestlers come back in. There's a couple of pushes, like, what do you mean? I'm in the ring. And then all of a sudden they get into some moves. And, my cousin winds up doing some kick thing, throwing this guy down, taking the other guy, throwing him over his shoulders, slamming him down to the floor. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking, 911. You need to get here right now.
Get that stretcher down here.
It's been a while since he's done this. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm hoping that he can walk and we're not carrying him out. But he did great, and it was a wonderful show, and the crowd loved it that a Jailhouse Rocker actually took a wrestler down. It was the coolest thing.
Yeah. Well, let me give a little bit more detail to this, Chris. First of all, this wrestler was a big guy. I mean, he's probably like 6'7", maybe. I mean, he was pretty tall, pretty big dude.
Yep.
And Tony's probably like
Hands twice the size of mine.
Probably what 5'10" maybe.
A little shorter than us, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he's probably about 5'10".
Yeah, he's a little stocky, but
literally did
out of his league.
180 flip on this dude. I mean, the dude's like legs are straight up in the air when he flipped them, so it's pretty impressive to watch this. And then obviously we were victorious. I mean, because obviously these guys were the villains.
Yeah.
And we were the good guys.
It was a David and Goliath story, though, for sure, because I was thinking this is not going to turn out so well. I hope that they got this down pretty good.
Right. But to top it off, Tony climbed on top of the ropes and put a lucha mask on. And he lost his wig, obviously, when he flipped.
Yeah.
His wig just flew off. And then he put this lucha mask on, like, and he just like did this like on top of the ropes, and that was like just an exclamation point for the whole thing. I thought that was pretty impressive. I mean, I just can't think of enough. And the whole time I kept asking him. I said, Tony, okay, I know you talk to these guys, work some up, blah blah blah, whatever. And he goes, yeah, but I'm not gonna say anything about it. I go, keep it a secret. I go, I want to be surprised.
And you were surprised.
And
he
was surprised.
I was surprised. Everybody was surprised.
It was beautiful. I mean, I thought the whole thing was beautiful. I mean, what he did. So it was a good thing.
Yeah, it's great to give y'all an extra, in wrestling terminology, an extra rub to where, y'all are, giving y'all that extra cheer,
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, we got invited to work with them again in the future because they really liked what we had to bring. So I'm looking forward to doing that again with them in the future.
Show up extra early, talk to me and Gene in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody in the group, everyone has their special, superpower, their talent, something that's unique to them, and they, when the time's right, you have the opportunity to bring it up and showcase it and have a great time and better the whole group because of it.
Yep, absolutely. And then, I mean, the event we got coming up for the private party coming up, we were involved with Trixie Minx,
Okay.
the burlesque dancer.
Uh-huh.
So, and they're going to probably do something with us, too. I'm not sure. We're still trying to work that one out.
I heard some of the wives aren't that happy about that right now, but keep that down low.
Are they not? I don't know. but they're supposed to be doing a dance with us as well. So it should be interesting.
You guys don't stop having fun, huh?
Life is short.
You gotta
Life
roll
is
with
short.
it, baby. You gotta roll with it.
So I do notice that each of y'all has a different number on your jacket. Is that something special?
The beautiful thing of it is this. You can put whatever number you want as long as it's not something that, is obviously not correct, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But do something that's special for you. For me, my number, the year I was born and the year that I joined the Jailhouse Rockers.
Okay.
So that was my little digits right there that were meaningful, right?
Yeah.
But, whatever you do. Some people put some signs, it looks like Prince or something, I'm not sure. We've seen a few unique ones. But, again, express yourself, be who you are, do something that's unique, and that way it's fun.
Well, I've had a lot of members. A lot of especially the old school members, the OGs or whatever, they put, their birth date and stuff like that, or, different things. Mine is whimsical. I put OU812. That's Van Halen.
Like the Van Halen album.
And, plus it's funny, and then people see it and they read it. And it looks kind of like a number, but then when they read it, they get it. They go, oh, OU812, so... that's why I did that, to be whimsical. But people do different things for different reasons,
Yeah.
Mine is 1434 because 1 letter, 4 letters, 3 letters. I love you, baby. Something my wife and I.
Oh, wow.
And he also did it on the right side instead of the left, like everyone else.
Expressing his uniqueness.
He wanted to be
More
a,
uniqueness.
He wanted to be a
Actually, my
rebel.
wife did it, so she she probably did it right where I told her to, which was wrong.
He's a rebel with a cause.
Absolutely.
But she's an Iris, and she made these glasses.
I like that feather, man. That feather is awesome.
The little Elvis.
Oh yeah, plus the diamonds too, man. Those look pretty cool.
Thank you, baby.
So where can people follow the Jailhouse Rockers?
Well, we do have a fan page, I think, on Facebook, and I think it recently developed, from what I remember. But other than that, that's about the only thing I know besides showing up to events that we do.
Yeah, we try to keep updated things and our fan base, in the know as much as possible. The Facebook page, I think, is the most lively, face to sort of track what we're doing and to sort of know where we are.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate y'all coming out today.
Well,
That's great.
we appreciate you having us. It's really nice to, get out and talk about what we do. And obviously, we're always looking for a new membership.
Getting the opportunity to march and dance in a parade, not that many people have that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an experience that I think all of us will take with us. It defines a big part of who we are, our personality, our goals in life, giving, having fun, getting to know people, the whole community aspect of it. It's what Mardi Gras is really based on at the end of the day. We need to get out there and just, have a great time. There's a lot of terms used in the past that describe exactly that.
And thank you guys for having us. This is a great podcast you guys have got going here. This is obviously stuff we're interested in, so thank you for doing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, guys. It's been great getting to know y'all. And
Thanks for the swag, too.
All on the road. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again. Thanks for what you do, what the Elvi, what all of this comes together, and it makes the best party on earth, right?
That's right.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in. Signing out. We will see you on the route. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.